And now to a very ambitious digital push to bring in 5G technology to India. The Modi government plans to conduct the largest ever spectrum auction to introduce affordable 5G services. The estimated value of the auction is 6 lakh crore rupees. The Telecom Department has cleared norms for 5G trials in India. This is a move that has been in the making for months now. This is a crucial issue because the government is still unclear on the participation of Chinese giant Huawei. The issue is this. Several countries see Huawei as a security threat. The use of Huawei equipment in 5G networks has already been barred in the United States, but Huawei is the market leader in this technology, significantly cheaper than what others offer. Plus, the US is also guided by its trade war, so India must decide independently. What then is India's stance on Huawei and 5G? No decision so far, but they cannot delay it for very long. Reports say a final call is expected soon. Last week, in fact, Huawei sought a quick reply from India on the matter. Indian telcos like Bharti, Airtel and Vodafone also want clarity on the issue, because these companies have to know whether or not they can partner with Huawei. These companies have billions of dollars at stake. The telecom secretary says the decision on Huawei will be a calibrated one. We expect no less. Security will be the priority, and Indian intellectual property rights, or IPRs, will not be overlooked in the 5G rollouts. The spectrum trials will begin by the end of this month or the beginning of July. There are a couple of interesting observations here. One is this, that India is looking at other original equipment manufacturers as well, and that is good because it nips fears of monopoly in the 5G space in the bud. And two, Indian intellectual property rights will protect Indian innovation in the 5G space. Now, the total spectrum available for 5G is more than 8,000 megahertz. Spectrum allocation also rings the fears of favoritism. We've seen that in India. The government has preempted these fears. Spectrum allocation for these trials will be done based on the recommendations of a Telecom Department committee chaired by IIT Kanpur's director. The panel will study the scope and size of 5G trials, the quantum, the pricing, and all other relevant aspects. Telecom companies have long been saying that the base price for this auction is too high. Now, the government has given them some relief of sorts. The government wants a thorough review on the telecom regulator TRAI's recommendations. The regulator has been asked to ensure competition as well as the sale of spectrum on offer. Competition, of course, means cheaper rates. So what was the price fixed by the TRAI? Take the case of the 3,300 to 3,500 megahertz band. The government wants to auction this entire band as a single band, and they will charge 492 crore rupees per megahertz, per unit, you may say. Compare this with South Korea. Last year, the country auctioned the same band at 131 crore rupees per megahertz. The price in India then is 30 to 40% higher than in other countries. And this is why telecom operators are complaining. Bharti Airtel, for one, said that it will not participate in the auctions if the prices are so high. Vodafone suggested that the 5G auction can take place next year. So now the steps taken by the Telecom Department to reduce the auction prices and put more spectrum for auction are good steps. After all, more spectrum at lesser prices means wider participation, and that is always good. The government's record in these spectrum auctions is dodgy. In the last auction in 2016, the high-value 700 megahertz band was unsold. The government earned a fraction of the 5 trillion rupees worth of spectrum.